We will be starting very, very soon. We will be starting very, very soon. All right, and welcome to my emergency stream. Cookie talks about Bayonetta 3, specifically about the enemies and the homunculi. So as you can see, this is a special emergency stream where I have a picture of the Astral Chain Nintendo Switch box cover on to the side of this reveal video. This is very important to this clinic right here, as I need to address factors that are in Astral Chain that connect specifically to Bayonetta 3. So before I begin, I just want to say thank you ever so much. If you're joining into this live, I don't want to take too much of your time, but if you take a moment to just click like onto this video if you're watching this on YouTube, but to also subscribe to the Strike First Gaming channel if you are here watching this through the Twitch stream right now. Thank you so much. I'm Fosung Lisbeth Cookye, and your metaphysician and mythological moments person that talks about metaphysical depth of fighting video games mostly, but from time to time we'll cover other games such as hack and slash, platformers, and adventure games like the one that I'm about to start right here. Before I begin and press the video and we do a breakdown analysis and I connect things through Astral Chain, I just want to put a shout out there to Hideki Kamiya for being such a genius with Platinum Games. He has been awesome in the releasing of his games from Bayonetta to also Astral Chain to, I believe is Beautiful 101 and also Devil May Cry. So, before I begin, I want to just make some quick references. Kamiya is known for connecting the Platinum video games universes together within similar or the same continuity. This would ring true with the Devil May Cry series, as there are backstories within that video game that will manifest within Bayonetta 1 and 2. A good example of this is legendary Witch Ava, who appears as the wife of the legendary Dark One in Devil May Cry. She is known for making a magical item known as the Bangle of Time. That Bangle of Time will appear as an actual accessory item within Bayonetta 1 and 2 as a device that Bayonetta can either unlock by beating the games under a certain amount of time, and then it's an incentive that you can get from the Gates of Hell from Rodin, or you can play the game throughout a specific set of times, get enough halos, and take those halos and then just buy the object itself. Another example of Kamiya connecting his worlds together is a character that appears in the Devil May Cry series as Antonio Redgrave, who is a journalist. His last assignment would actually take place within the world of Bayonetta, which by this time he has a son named Luca Redgrave. He has taken a commission assignment by the last Lumen Sage, Father Boulder, who has asked him to help him do the research on finding Bayonetta, who is then sealed for 500 years at the bottom of a lake. Somehow, Antonio Redgrave finds the body of Bayonetta, and in finding this and resurrecting her from the lake, he is then killed right in front of his son Luca, who witnesses this, but throughout the time of the Bayonetta series, he has blamed Bayonetta for the death of his father, only to find out that by, spoiler alert, by the end of the first game that it was never Bayonetta at all. It was the Lumen Sage Boulder who killed Antonio when he found out the secret location of Bayonetta's body at the bottom of the lake. And so see, that's how he connects things. Kamiya has specifically spoken about making sure that you play Bayonetta 1 and 2 and also take a gander at Astral Chain, as you can see right there, because a lot of the story elements will be meshed with Bayonetta 3. because it makes total sense. I highly recommend, and I'm putting this up right here, highly recommend that if you have not checked out Astral Chain, please do so, as Bayonetta 3 releases the 28th of October, so that gives you possibly enough time to play through Astral Chain. You don't have to 100% the game, but I do recommend playing that game, as the enemies, the origin of the enemies that are in Bayonetta 3 come from Astral Chain, and the story there, the origin story from that game, will make a lot more sense as you play Bayonetta 3 and will help you to get further along with what's going on. Okay, and with that said, I'm going to go through this reveal video. I'm going to do the breakdown, and then I'm going to make some connections with what's going on from here to Astral Chain, and specifically, of course, as I said before, connecting this to the homunculi. Okay, so yes, Bayonetta is the Witch of Genesis. Yeah, so this is one of the recent trailers that was released on the Nintendo update that just happened a couple of days ago. In the first game, she did fight for her own memories. In the second game, she's fighting to save her friend who was devoured into hell. And now this time she is here to save the world against man-made biological weapons known as the homunculi. So I'm going to stop the video about right there. So this is where things get interesting, because I have a slideshow that I kind of integrated with this. Here we go. So let's get to this slideshow. And I'm going to click over to an important figure. The pictures are at random. Okay, so this lady figure right here, her name is Jenna Anderson. She plays a very key integral role in the story of Astral Chain. She was a top research scientist that worked for the Aegis Researcher Institute with her colleague known as Joseph Colvert. Joseph is this man right here. She worked under him as his colleague as they were researching a way to save humanity from the Chimera invasion that came from a meteor strike many years prior. The meteor strike caused these dimensional rifts that opened up gates into the astral plane. And then enemies known as the Chimeras jumped out of the astral plane into our world and began to devour humans, but not before leaving behind a trace of something called red matter. That red matter created a condition known as red shifting, which caused humans to either turn into Chimera enemies themselves or they just died. Within several months, about 90% of human population was in danger, and the lands of the continents, as we know, that were uninhabitable, the Union, which was with the help of Joseph Colvert right there, the Union was the government that was used to create an ark. And that ark is what saved humanity, and most of humanity moved into that ark. And that's what you see, that's what he did. And with that, the world's brightest minds. So I want to make sure that I'm articulating this correctly. And one of those brightest minds was this woman right here, Jenna Anderson. Now, she created a drug known as Blue Evolve that was supposed to fight against humans red shifting from the red matter that the Chimeras left behind, that they continue to leave behind because they're still invading the earth. But at some point, they managed to reach the Ark, which is hosting the rest of humanity until one day the earth could become habitable again. Her views eventually will clash with Joseph Colvert, which is right here, which this ongoing feud led him to banish Jenna, this woman right here, into the astral plane. In the astral plane, they thought that she would have died, but she managed to survive 20 years, and with that learned many secrets about the astral plane and the Chimeras and the enemies that have been attacking the earth. She uses this to her advantage, as now that she has escape the astral plane, she now attacks the Aegis Research Institute, which is this right here. This is a small picture, but this is very paramount within the Astral Chain video game, as this is the research institute that is used to create the Legion technology that allows humans to connect to defeated chimeras and the DNA combination that uses the main characters as hosts to allow them to connect to the astral plane. Because they're human, we cannot see these chimera entities. They're from a different dimensional frequency as ours. So Yosef creates this technology, so to speak, to allow humans to connect, or specific humans that pass these trials, to become warriors known as legionists. And they use a system known as a legatus that controls the legion that will allow them to cross over into that dimensional frequency, fighting the chimeras. Where Jenna Anderson is concerned is that when she escapes from the astral plane, 20 years of entrapment by being banished there by Yosef, she then steals Legion cores from the Aegis Research Institute and uses that technology to create the Homunculi. Very important. This woman here is the creator and the engineering of the Homunculi when she escapes the astral plane and uses the Legion technology that she stole from the Aegis Research Institute in order to combat against her hatred against this figure right here, Joseph Colbert. I hope, let me know if this is all making sense to you guys, for those who have joined in. And by the way, if you haven't joined into this special emergency stream, this will also, of course, be re-uploaded on Faux Sung Elizabeth Cookie's YouTube page, and I'll be sending links to that. So let's go back to the video right here. So that's what we see right here. Luca, who's also known... let me go back. I skipped around for a bit. I didn't mean to skip. I'm going to have to skip a bit. Sorry about that. I was supposed to hit the pause button. Let's skip around. Let's go back. Yep, saving friends to saving her friend. Okay, here we go. We're going to go specifically to Luca for to saving the world. Yes. Okay, there she is. We're getting there. Okay, there we go. Luca is the journalist extraordinaire. So what I am hoping and what I am expecting is that Luca will be the mastermind behind weaving the story of the multiverses of what's going on, between hopefully revealing what I'm revealing right now about Jenna Anderson being the engineer and the architect of the Homunculi by stealing the Legion energy cores from the Aegis Research Institute in the world of Astral Chain. Hopefully that will be something that is addressed. That is my hope. That is my educated guess. Since Luca has been the historian throughout the Bayonetta world, in the first game linking what's known as the 500, the war between the Lumen Sages and the Umbra Witches and Heaven and Hell involved. And in the second game, the Nuaton mythology behind Aesir and the left and the right eyes and the eyes in the world, and how they were split, and how the left eye went to the Umbra Witches and the right eye went to the Lumen Sages. And it gives a more deeper, detailed perspective of what went on, as well as you go back in time to the actual witch hunts of 500 years ago. Now in this game, I'm going to assume Luca will talk exactly about what I'm saying right here. Now, this is very important because I'm going to back up again because I just missed it. Yes, the Platinum Witch Jeanne, who was up in line to become heiress to the throne of the Umbra Witches until she settled her score with Bayonetta. And of course, Bayonetta is known as the Sacred Treasure, and she bested Jeanne in battle. And Bayonetta won. So we're going to back up just a bit because see, she's swinging from a hook cord here. There we go. And this is what's very important. This building right here is very reminiscent of the Aegis Research Institute that's in Astral Chain, but except it's giving us more research facility vibes right here. And the $64,000 question is, after Jenna's death in Astral Chain, what does this say about her work, her research, and who has carried it over and who is continuing it since she's no longer living? Now, this figure right here, Viola, I have my own reservations about this witch in training because so far it hasn't been revealed where she comes from. She's just a new woman on the scene. Now, this is my assumption, just an educated guess, like many of the other analysis videos out there on YouTube. This is my take on it. I believe that Viola is somehow related to Jenna Anderson. I'm going to bring her picture back up. How do I see this? See, Jenna, if we zoomed in a little bit more, Jenna is wearing purple lipstick. She has crazy eyeshadow. Her hair is all arranged. In the back, she has purple clips, but you don't really see it. And some of the back of her hair is also colored just like Viola. I wouldn't be surprised if Viola happens to be the daughter of Jenna Anderson and has somehow managed to travel across the astral plane into Bayonetta's time, because somehow the worlds are merging. The way this whole issue takes place in the Astral Chain game is that the meteorite that crash landed in Antarctica is the entire reason why Earth even gets the interaction of these interdimensional gates that leads to the Chimera invasion on Earth, which leads to the creation of the Ark, which needs to host and save humanity. Okay, moving forward. We'll go back to the video source. Now here, of course, we see that there are many Bayonettas from many different times that Kamiya has already confirmed. But we're going to go back again. We're going to go back because there's an important figure there. This red mega figure with a constellation on its chest. So if you study metaphysics and you understand the astral plane and, of course, what's known as the angelic realm, which is beyond the astral plane, and the trinity of realities, the astral plane is somewhere in between the trinity of realities, as in reality, it is said that if you have an out-of-body experience, you can converse with your dead loved ones on the astral plane. That is the universe or the dimensional frequency to which hosts conversations and meetings between those that are not from this realm and those that exist in that realm. And so the chimera that's right here is very reminiscent of the chimeras that are in Astral Chain. They're red, they're glowing, and they're the megaphytes. And they're not to be confused with the homunculi, the biomade weaponries of defeated chimera DNA fused with human DNA and technology created by this woman right here that you see, Jenna Anderson, in the Astral Chain universe. So I'm hoping that what I'm saying actually makes sense within Bayonetta 3. If anyone has any questions and they joined into this emergency stream, please feel free to comment. Moving forward. Yes, available October 28th, and I'm very, very, very excited about that. And yes, there's another gameplay trailer that goes 8 minutes specifically into Demon Slave and the other moves of Bayonetta. So yes, I have a couple of videos that are in succession right here. And of course, this is like the opening shot of Bayonetta on a cruise liner or a yacht and fighting the first appearances of what appears to be the homunculi. I have my reservations again, like I said, about Viola because she enters the gates of hell to educate Rodin about the homunculi invading the world and how they may wipe out the trinity of realities. And it makes me wonder how come she knows so much. And this is why I believe she is connected to Gina Anderson as possibly her daughter. Now, this scene right here of what is Shibuya in Tokyo, present day time, my question here is this an alternate universe to where this is before the creation of the ark and this is where the meteorite struck and that meteorite opens up those dimensional frequency gates and Bayonetta is there to stop it before it becomes what it is in Astral Chain? Or is this taking place after Astral Chain and she is within the arc itself and we're in a different section of the arc? Or she is fighting on Earth outside of the arc, because in the Astral Chain universe, humanity is in the arc and they cannot leave the arc because the rest of the Earth is uninhabitable because of the red matter left behind by the chimeras, which is deadly to humans. So is she within the arc or is she outside of the arc at the same time within Astral Chain's timeline, or after the defeat of Noah Prime, which Yosef right here, I'm going to bring that slideshow back. Yosef's intentions become clear and he becomes the main villain by the end of the Astral Chain game, and sacrificing his own legions that he created at the Aegis Research Institute, becoming the ultimate figure of a god, calling himself Noah Prime. After he's defeated as Noah Prime, you then have these separate files that take place afterwards. It's an epilogue chapter where you are then going around clearing up the red matter with the main protagonist in Astral Chain, and you're still on the arc, but you cannot leave the arc because, like I said before, the rest of the Earth is uninhabitable because of the red matter. So I want to know, is Bayonetta within the arc still, or is she outside of the arc fighting off the homunculi there? That's just a theory. So yes, we're in the mall right now, and this mall is showcasing the battle right now, of course, of Bayonetta and the homunculi bioweapons. This is very reminiscent of what you would see in Astral Chain, because you fight in the Arc Mall in Astral Chain. And of course, she's using parts of Demon Slave right now, and Witch Time, and how to use it effectively. Awesome, yes. If you're just joining into this emergency stream live, I will update the labels soon. Sorry, I didn't update the labels. It's supposed to be a Cookie's emergency stream on a Bayonetta 3, specifically talking about the homunculi and who, what, when, why, where they come from, how they were created within the Astral Chain universe, and how they are invading the Bayonetta universe now in her third installment of her own action game. If you don't catch this live right now, emergency stream, of course this will be re-uploaded again on my YouTube channel, talking specifically about what we see right here. So there's a greater difference between homunculi and the chimeras. The chimeras are the interdimensional beings that are coming from the astral plane, and the homunculi are the bio-made weapons that were created by Gina Anderson. While this is playing, I'm going to go right to that slideshow so you can see who Gina Anderson is, since I addressed this a bit earlier on as I'm analyzing the video. The defeated homunculi they're giving off what's called a magatama. I want to make sure that I'm saying this right. And the magatama becomes this new currency, from what I see in another video that I saw, that Rodin, who is the master of the gates of hell, you go and you buy bioweapons from him and all the stuff that he creates on the angelic level for you within Bayonetta 1 and 2. He is now collecting the currency which is the Magatama that gives off from the defeated enemies right here that you can see up and see what Bayonetta just collected. I'm going to see if I can freeze that once she defeats them. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. We're going to back up the video again just for a bit because we want to see. Oh, there it is. That's what she's collecting right there. That is the Magatama, and that is a symbiology of Japanese mythological lore that goes back into Japanese antiquity. Something as seen as a good luck symbol, but it's also, there we go. Let's freeze that right there for a bit. There we go. That is what Bayonetta is collecting, and that is what she is going to give to Rodin in the Gates of Hell to trade off for new abilities, for new weaponry. It's a nice twist, and I like it. And in Japanese folklore, it is said that these symbols right here hold spiritual energy, which makes sense because the astral plane is where you can converse with dead loved ones, and the metaphysical understanding to those who are witchcraft practitioners or root workers. All right, continuing on with the analysis. Yes, and thank you for joining. Thank you for joining my emergency stream as I'm breaking this down. Online Tony 213, thank you for joining. Of course, she's using Demon Slave right here to fight against a larger homunculi enemy. Okay. And we're going into the next phase of the video here, where she's putting on a demon masquerade. Yes, she's able to turn herself into now the demons that she has contracted herself. Just for informational purposes, Madama Butterfly is the sole contract to which Bayonetta has attached herself to, and why she is able to traverse the realms the way she has. As this is going on in the background, I just want to explain something very, very informational between Astral Chain and between Bayonetta. See, in the Astral Chain world, humans cannot cross over between dimensional frequencies, and so what they do to explain this is that Yosef, who created the Legion system and the Legatus machinery that's on the back of the police officers that you use in Astral Chain, they're connected by a psychic link from a defeated chimera. I'm going to pause the video right here because this is very important. I'm going to get to this scene in a minute. So in the Astral Chain universe, they're using technology and a psychic link between technological device and a legion of a defeated chimera to enter and cross over into an astral gate. In Bayonetta's universe, she is born into the biology of her biomatrix being able to already connect and cross over dimensional frequencies through the soul contract of magic. So one is based upon magic, the other is based upon technology, but they're both doing the same things explained differently through two different games. And that's how they're able to fuse both Astral Chain and Bayonetta together to get what you see right here. As I back up this video, this is a section of China, which, they talk about already, that you'll be able to explore different areas of the world. So I'm going to assume, because you can explore different areas of the world, that this is taking place either during the time or after the defeat of Yosef, who becomes Noah Prime in Astral Chain, and you are outside of the ark. Now here she turns herself into the spider. Bam, right there. I want you to see that beam of light. That beam of light shows up in Bayonetta 1 as a Nephilim gate. The Nephilim gates allow you to do these extra side missions to level up Bayonetta by getting the magic orbs and such. And it's nice to see that they're not so-called Nephilim gates in this game, but they are hidden battles that are signifying as Nephilim gates, battles on the fly where angels seem to be now involved as well. Bam, gonna pause it again right there. You can see the angels from that reminiscent to Bayonetta 2 from the airplane prologue scene. So that means this may be an all hands on deck situation, because now that the astral plane is in on this, We now have angels and possible demons. That's my assumption on the demon part. If this is the case, then my next question is this the God of chaos? Because with the Trinity of Realities there were three gods, and I believe Aesir was the god of chaos. So I need to redo that question again. Who is the god of the astral plane, and do they have a connection to the other Trinity of Realities? That's what I want to articulate. But it's nice to know that these extra side missions exist, so the angels still exist in this game. And there you see it, and they show up doing the same movements, specifically from Bayonetta 2 right there. Exciting. Okay, more collectibles. Okay, she's summoned Gamora for that. Okay, and there we get the first chapter, and this is called Looking for Answers. I'm going to move my picture just for a second so y'all can see that. It's called Scrambling for Answers. So this is chapter 1. So they already revealed to us what the first chapter is going to be. And Mr. Kamiya-san had already said that each chapter is going to be a lot longer than what we're used to in the original Bayonetta game, which is okay with me because the chapters in Astral Chain were long. There were only like 13 files. They call them files in the Astral Chain. No, I'm saying that wrong. There were 11 files, and the 12th file is the epilogue. So there are 11 files to the story. And those files represent chapters, and those chapters were really long. So I am not surprised that that's exactly what they're doing here. And the fusion of both Astral Chain and Bayonetta is going to be quite interesting, as the backgrounds they pulled them straight out of Astral Chain. Like I said, I really, really recommend that you play Astral Chain and get a full-fledged understanding of what's going on in that game, because a lot of that story, I truly believe, is going to be revealed in this game, which will make things very full circle. And knowing Kamiya, I believe will also lead into Astral Chain 2. I wouldn't be surprised if they talk about Bayonetta in Astral Chain 2. Okay, let's go back to the video. Awesome. And that means getting pure platinums is going to be a little bit more difficult, as the chapters require you to really play longer. So if you, like I said before, if you're just joining in on this stream now, thank you so much. Find the time, a moment right now to subscribe to the Strike First Gaming Twitch channel. And also, if you have not seen this video live right now, this will also be re-uploaded on my YouTube channel later today. So Viola has her own set of powers right here, and the way she's implementing her abilities, I wouldn't be surprised at some point if she is the offspring, like I said, of Jenna Anderson, which I'm going to bring back her picture again up in the slideshow right here. Is very paramount, because since Jenna created the homunculi, and she's the engineer of it, that vial that's in her hand right here is known as the Blue Evolve, which allowed her to splice her own DNA with the Chimera DNA, which looks like a chimera is what's being beat up right now by Cheshire, which is the demonic entity that's in contract with Viola. Of course, it's showing you right now the options on how you can change the accessories to a lot easier. The Immortal Marionette was something that you can unlock by beating Bayonetta 1 and 2 on the most easiest setting. It allowed, the doll equipped allowed it to be basically auto-comboed and to be controlled by the computer if you wasn't sure about how to play the game manually. The Immortal Marionette, of course, for us veteran Bayonetta fans, won't matter as much unless you're a completionist. You're going to want the doll, but it seems like in this game it's an automatic. You get the doll automatically. You don't have to unlock it, which is nice. Of course, and there she is right there in all of her glory. I'm looking for some more scenes that I can connect to Astral Chain, of course. Yes, all this right there, Shibuya, all of that, yes, releasing October 28th, we know. But all of that Shibuya that you see right there is all in the arc of Astral Chain. And of course, this is the last video. I connected a lot of these videos together. Shout outs to Mr. Lopez right there, who does a review. But there is a piece of his video specifically that I want to highlight of Father Rodin, who owns the bar Gates of Hell, where it shows him talking to Bayonetta specifically about collecting the Magatama good luck charms. As I said before, it seems like this is the currency that he is interested in, other than the angelic halos that he's used to collecting from Bayonetta 1 and 2. This he'll be using as currency to help create new bioweapons for Bayonetta, which is great. He's going to use the soul energy of the Magatama to create these bioweapons, and that will help Bayonetta in her quest on saving the world, which makes total sense. It'd be nice if they actually add Father Rodin as another battle. He's like the strongest angelic character in Bayonetta, and of course you have to spend or collect 1 million halos to even battle him. So I wonder if they'll bring that back in this game, or they may have another challenge or something of the sort. Of course, this is the opening scene that they keep showing over and over throughout the videos that we'll be experiencing October 28th. And yes, one thing that they wanted to highlight is that Bayonetta is very vulnerable while she is in that state. When she commands Demon Slave and can control the kaiju battle, she can also do torture attacks. But you have to be wise where you activate the Demon Slave so that you don't become vulnerable to the other homunculi attacking her. But what's nice is that you can do, it seems like you can do like a Demon Slave offset. Like while you're attacking with the Demon Slave, you can actually dodge as well and continue the combos onward. Man, that's just ingenious. Okay, so this is more homunculi right here. So, there we go. That's what we're looking for. That's what we're looking for. Bam. Let me back up. And something else just came to me, and I want to make sure that I articulate this before I talk about what Rodin is spinning in his hand right there. Let me go pause this slideshow, because I want to make sure that the slideshow is not moving too much. Yes, there we go. Back to that Yamata right there. That's what he's spinning in his hand. So, Jenna Anderson, who was trapped in the astral plane for over 20 years when Joseph Culvert sent her there because of their clashing views on saving humanity and Astral Chain, she had enough time to develop and perfect her plan to create the homunculi. She created this relationship also with the chimeras, and so as now is making me wonder if this relationship and the information that she created with the chimeras, did they take that and take that to a whole new level after her death? Were they responsible for continuing her research and continuing where she left off after she sacrificed her life in the Astral Chain? Something to think about. Now, back to Rodin right here, who is spinning the Magatama in his hand. This is the currency that I want to talk about. This is important. Look at that. As of course, he's going to want Bayonetta to collect that and hand that over to him. You could see it right there. That is the kicker. That is what makes sense right there. Okay. And of course, shout outs to Mr. Lopez in his video. As I am borrowing a little bit of his media, I want to make sure that I shout him out, because right now his is the only media that shows that piece of rodent spinning that magatama in his hand. So I wanted to make sure that I capture that and give him full credit for that video. He is the one who has that. Thank you so much. And so I'm using that for my analogy video here, talking about what to expect in Bayonetta 3. If you have any questions, please leave your questions on this YouTube video or on this stream. It seems like right now only one person is watching, and that's okay. Of course, this will be up for your viewing pleasure for anyone who sees this later on today. I will be returning back to entertain questions on this specific video on YouTube. As if you have any thoughts or analogies of your own, please feel free to comment on this video. I look so forward to your thoughts. And what do you think? What do you think will be in this new adventure we call Bayonetta 3? So thank you so much for watching this emergency video. That is my analogy and my thoughts connecting from the astral plane perspective the enemies of the homunculi, where they come from, what they were, what they did in Astral Chain, and why they are here in Bayonetta 3, and the differences between the chimera, the interdimensional beings from the astral plane, and the bioweapons of the homunculi. Thank you so much. Please subscribe to Strike First Gaming channel here on Twitch, and please give a thumbs up on this video on YouTube if you like this content and if you want to see more of it. And please subscribe to my channel, as from time to time I do these emergency videos, but now I'm starting to do emergency streams. Thank you so much, and see you again in the next video.